Hello, everyone. This is Divine Due Diligence coming on here doing my due diligence of giving you time, experience, and acknowledging God and everything that He has done in my life, y'all. I do not own the rights to this music, but I want you to listen to this. It's about 5 minutes, and then we're going to go into the single mom series, single parent too as well. Take it and put it in your category as it applies to you.
Sometimes you look up at the ceiling and ask, why me? But you gotta realize, the pressure isn't meant to break you. It's meant to refine you. Yeah. God knew I needed this pain. God knew I needed this pain. Even when I felt broken, had to walk through them storms just to become who I am. I ain't understand it back then why my life felt this way. Now I finally see God knew I needed this pain. There was times I was questioning everything around me. Why the pressure's so heavy? Why this life try to drown me? Why I feel like every time I stand I fall again? Why I keep going through battles I can't comprehend? And I was angry for a minute, I ain't lie about it. Feel like nobody understood, I stayed quiet about it. Had me looking at my life like, why me? Every night while I'm fighting all these demons trying to stay upright. And I done been through some things people never seen. Pain so deep it changed the way I think and dream. Had me building walls around my heart for protection. Had me carrying trauma in every direction. And I lost parts of myself trying to survive. Trying to stay strong while I'm dead inside. Trying to keep moving even when I felt weak. Trying to smile outside while my soul couldn't sleep. God knew I needed this pain. Even when I felt broken. Had to walk through the storm just to become who I am. I ain't understanding back then why my life felt this way. Now I finally see God knew I needed this. But looking back at it now, I see something different. Every loss taught me lessons. Every struggle had a mission. Every moment I was low was shaping who I became. God knew what He was doing when He gave me this pain. Now I move with a different type of understanding. I know growth come with pressure. It ain't random. Everything I went through built strength in my spirit. Even when I felt lost, there was purpose in it. And I ain't saying every scar stopped hurting today. I still got nights where the memories replay. Still got moments where the weight feels strong. But I learned pain don't mean something gone wrong. Sometimes it's there just to wake you up, just to humble your soul. When life get rough, just to show you who's real when the world switches. Just to build something deeper that can't be denied. And I found peace in accepting my role. Even when it got dark and my heart felt cold. Cause if I never went through all the things that I did, I wouldn't be this version of myself that exists. No. Now I look at the valley from the top of the peak. I find a hidden power in the words that I speak. Every teardrop was water in the soil below. I had to stay in the dark just to learn how to grow. They see the victory lap, but they missed out on the race. They didn't see me on my knees trying to find my own grace. I carry my history like armor on my chest. Every trial was a setup just to make me my best. The rain didn't drown me, it just washed away the dust. I traded my anxiety for an unshakable trust. Now I carry my scars like they part of my story. Every wound, every battle, every painful moment for me. Cause I finally understand why I walk through the rain. God knew exactly why I needed this pain. I needed this pain. Even when I felt broken, had to walk
I hope you enjoyed the song. I don't own the rights to this music, but let's start. This is a deep question because there are 3 separate issues that I would like to talk about. Why women become single mothers after divorce. What ages women most commonly become single mothers. How children statistically do when raised by a single mother after divorce. A single father as well. In the United States, this is where I'm focusing at. According to the Census Bureau, there were about 10.9 million single parent households with children under 18, and approximately 80% were headed by mothers. Many single mothers become single mothers because of divorce, separation, widowhood, never marrying the child's father, domestic violence or abuse, substance abuse issues in a spouse, infidelity, chronic conflict in marriage, and this research examining lifetime single motherhood found that divorce was the most common reason why women entered single motherhood. Now, as a reflection on me, the categories that were my issue, remember, I married the first time, I got a son. I married the second time, I got a son and a daughter. So my issues in the first one, we was just young. We didn't have a mindset that this was going to be forever. At least I'm thinking, because we got a divorce after 3 years. So, and then when we got married, it was because of a force issue, because of belief systems. Instead of us just going about our merry way in the marriage of how a person get married, dating, whatever, it was because of a religious basis that we got married. But the second marriage was trauma, it was infidelity, it was mental issues, health, it was a lot of things that came in subject our children to these areas and issues now that they may have. The first marriage was 3 years. The second marriage was 11 years. So you can see the long extensive period that there were more issues, more mess. Even at the start, it was crazy. So divorce, separation, domestic violence and abuse, infidelity, and conflict in a marriage was my issue for the second marriage. It was terrible. I wouldn't change a thing though, because the information that I have now in lessons and experiences has brought me to this person that I am now. It came to knowledge. It gave me wisdom and understanding of where I'm at in life now. So I look for what? Red flags on everything, because at the end of the day, I focus on my healing. The process that I had to get here, the things that I had to go with, the things that I had to endure to get to this place, I don't take it lightly, but I cherish everything about it, because it's making me into the woman that I am now. The healed version of me, the knowledge and the understanding of God himself, that relationship with God I have. Back in the day, it felt like it was a pretend relationship, because it was mostly off the beliefs that somebody poured into me that really is just a belief, religious base. It's not a connection. It's not truly an understanding of who God is. So age ranges when women most often become single mothers after divorce. Although women can become single mothers at any age, certain age ranges appear more frequently. And it's just not talking about single mothers, y'all. It's talking about people that got to deal with being a single parent in general. Only reason why I stayed a single mother because that's who I was. And that's what I dealt with. But the age ranges of 20 to 29, early marriages, ending, financial stress, immaturity, unexpected pregnancies. At the age of 30 to 39, they dealing with mostly common in ranges of children and often young. Marital pressures increase. Ages 40 to 49, you got midlife divorce, infidelity, growing apart, and 50 and plus, you just don't want to be married no more. It's a great divorce after a long marriage. Why do women become single mothers after divorce? The number one thing is infidelity. Most people are cheating. It's like they can't have one thing. They got to see and get any Tom, Dick, and Harry. They got to be with any Tom, Dick, and Harry. They got to have their cake and eat it too. They want to do what they want. They don't hold the principles. They don't have morals. At the end of the day, it is what it is. But this is the thing. Infidelity. One spouse breaks marital trust. The common outcomes are emotional betrayal, separation, and divorce. Mothers awfully receive primary custody. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is. It is just what it is. Then the second one is financial problems. Money conflicts consistently rank among the strongest predictions of divorce. Examples are debt, job loss, spending disagreements, financial responsibilities. These things, number two, like, it's a problem. It's a consistent thing. And if we in the marriages did not break it, it becomes a problem, and it becomes into a part where this is why we end up in divorce, because of financial reasons. Either too much money is going out and not enough coming in, or one person is spending it. I dealt with that issue because I was at a point of time I was spending it, because at the end of the day, I wasn't able to work even though I had a career. But we don't understand why we put ourselves in this predicament, whereas though if it was a two-parent household and then the economy and things are going up, why not have both parents working, switch shifts, or have some type of understanding? Look, I'm gonna work this time, but you work this time, and good. We're gonna make sure that we have days together. Then you got domestic violence. This was a big issue for me. Dealing with why I left my marriage. Women frequently leave marriages to protect themselves and their children. At that point in time, I thought I was protecting me and my children. But honestly, I was thinking about myself, because it was a life or death situation. I wasn't even thinking about my parents, my children, of what they would think, how they would feel. It was all about, I gotta save my life to make sure they good. But they don't understand that. They don't understand the understanding of why you had to go through these things. Why did you came to a point of making this decision? You wanted safe haven for yourself, not just for them. But they don't understand it. All they know is, I want my daddy, or I want my mommy. It's like, why we all can't be in the same house? This is how I was raised. This is how I came. So why it gotta be at a point where we all gotta be disconnected or separated? They don't understand that. And this was a real big issue for my children. They didn't understand the separation of why I separated, even though he was in jail for 2.5 years for embezzlement. So they were already separated and didn't even understand that, let alone understand, okay, after dad comes out, oh, my mom wants a divorce. Mom was doing things that she knows she shouldn't have done. And at the end of the day, I I wouldn't want to go backwards. If you got in your mind frame that, look, this is what happened to me, and do I want to relive this thing over and over again? No, that was my mindset. I don't want to relive something that already got past. And so it caused a lot of conflict for my children. It caused a lot of conflict even between me and their father, because he had one point of view and I had another. At the end of the day, we both know what went down. And so it's my side, his side, and the truth. I promise you, I'm going to give you all the truth that I can possibly give you. Because I'm not one. It's nothing that we should be lying about. Because even if people didn't see it, God seen it. And that's the one person that we should be fearing. So why I got a lot to present myself something different? I'm presenting myself who I am now. I know I did things that was not for me, and I know I did things that was against me. But now this healed version of me want the best, not just for me, for my children, but for y'all too. So this is why it is my divine due diligence of giving you my experience to let you know you are not alone. You're not the only one that had to go through that same situation and be afraid to speak. Be afraid to say, oh my gosh, a divorce, the big D, good God Almighty. I mean, it's nothing to be ashamed about. If it didn't work, it didn't work. It just wasn't for you. So physical abuse, emotional abuse, and control, I dealt with it. I dealt with it to the point that it almost cost me my life. At the end of the day, I wouldn't wish this for nobody. So I had to make a choice, which caused pain and agony for my two children that were a part of the situation. Mainly my middle son, because he took the blunt of everything. He took the blunt of my trauma. He got trauma put on him on top of trauma put on him. He went through abuse through me too. He went through frustrations through me too. This behavior I'm not proud of, but at the end of the day, I had trauma in my life prior to even being married, prior to even having my children. So guess what? You think that trauma that lied dormant all that long time is not going to want an outlet? You just waiting on a when, what, where, and how. When will it let loose? And who it will let loose on? It's lying dormant, and it needs a release in some way, shape, fashion, or form. And the real release, the heal release, should say, I need some healing. I need to go to that wound that first got me into the place that I am in now. So it won't be taken out on nobody else, especially the ones that God loaned to you. Especially when you're supposed to be pouring into them, not hurting them. And that was an issue for me. That was something that I had to deal with. Substance abuse, not too much, but I had to deal with that as a child myself. Alcoholism and drug addictions are major contributions to marital breakdowns. Then examples: unstable employment, negligence of family responsibilities, unsafe home environments. I had to deal with alcoholism. Growing up and growing apart. Sometimes there is no dramatic event. Instead, different goals. Emotional distance, lack of intimacy, years of unsolved conflict. So it's just basically you just holding it in until you explode. I did that too. There's only so much a person can take. There's only so much a person can bear. So at the end of the day, you're relying on your strength till there's no more strength. Then you deal with mental health challenges as well. Untreated depression, personal disorders, severe anxiety, or other mental health struggles can place enormous strains on marriages. I am not in that field of saying what mental health is or is not. I'm just giving you statistics. Realization that this is how the Census Bureau is seeing these things. Not my words, theirs. Early marriages. Marriages formed very young, generally facing high divorce rates. Then marriages form later than an adult. What happens to children raised by single mothers or parents? This is where statistics need careful interpretation. It's a statistic thing, y'all. This is how they ranking us. This is how they placing us. This is what they're saying to single mothers or single parents that are raising children alone. These are statistics. Average risk does not mean every child will experience these outcomes. Many children of single parents grow in healthy and successful adults. They grow up to be these people. The biggest factors are often, these are factors that they're saying. Poverty they deal with. Family conflict deal with. Quality of parenting, they deal with it. Stability, they deal with it. Community support, they deal with it. And all 5 of these categories I had felt in. I fell in all 5 of these categories at one point in time. Did you hear what I said? At one point of time. Not simply whether one parent is present. It doesn't matter if both parents there. Sometimes you find that in both parents, that if they're dead, there's a situation that's going on exactly like this. But statistics, it risk seems more often that they find in statistics. Studies have found increased rates of this. Educational challenges. I got a son and a daughter that deals with this. That because of so much trauma, so much pain, so much agony, that a divorce and things that happened after divorce placed on them caused them educational challenges where they didn't graduate at the right time or on the right time. Children from single parent homes are more likely to struggle with academically, leave school early, attend college at lower rates. Mental health challenges, it's a statistic. They statistically saying researchers have linked single parent family structures with high rates of depression, anxiety, behavior problems, and substance abuse. It's statistically written. Not my words, theirs. So if you find yourself falling under these statistic things, you need to go back and find out where is the root of the thing. This is what this is about. It's going back to find what was the root of a thing. Then they may find themselves in this, an academic or economy or economic challenge. Single mother households are significantly more likely to experience poverty. Why? Because it's one income. Sometimes the parent can't get help. Sometimes they look at everything that's coming in the house and say, oh, look, you make over $1 of the limit, so you can't get. This what happens. This what transpires. It's statistically written. So this often affects household stability, school quality, access to resources, and health care. Research frequently find that poverty explains much of the difference in children's outcome. Relationship outcomes is later in life. They don't experience that until they get to the point where they want to date or want to be with somebody. At the end of the day, it may cause a problem in that situation. Some studies indicate children of divorce may have greater fear of commitment, higher divorce rate themselves, lower trust in relationships. But it's important for them to find a balance in these. How do we help them thrive in balance? By this. Children raised by a single parent often do very well when they have this: a loving parent, consistent discipline, stable housing, positive male role models, grandfather, uncle, pastor, mentor. If it's not in church, look, you got big brother, big sister. You got the why. You got things that men pour themselves into where it comes down to children. You got church involvement, strong extended family, emotions of security. But let's put some biblical aspects in this. The Bible never tells that a single parent or single mother or her children are damaged goods. He doesn't state that in the word. But he does say this. Throughout scripture, God shown special concern for widows, abandoned women, and children. God defends the vulnerability. A father to the fatherless, a defender of widows, is God in his holy dwelling. That's Psalms chapter 68 and 5. This reminds single mothers, single parents, that God sees their struggles. God gives strength. Yes, he does. Fear not, for I am with you. That's Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10. But also this, many single mothers carry enormous burdens. God promised his presence. Oh, yes, he did. God can redeem difficult family situations. That's only if we allow him to. If we don't allow him to, things will remain the same. But this is what he said. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who loves him. That's Romans chapter 8 and 28. Divorce is painful, but God can still bring blessings, healing, and purpose. Children are not destined to fail, y'all. It's by what we install in them. What we betray ourselves to be in front of them. This would either make them or break them. What do we say to our children to keep them in the mindset of this is right and not wrong? And then they go to get to a certain age and they find out something different. And then what? But they're not destined to fail. The word of God says, train up a child in the way they should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it. That's Proverbs 22 and 6. That's whatever we bestow upon our child in all 5 of the aspects of their life. Whether good, bad, or indifferent. Because whatever we instill in them is what they have to go off of. So why not pour in them the right things, the right understanding, and make sure you hold yourself accountable to each thing that you put inside of them, whether it be right, wrong, or indifferent. You are accountable until they get to an age of understanding this is the do's and don'ts. Chalk it up. If you were wrong, then you were wrong. If you were right, then you were right. I divine, I was wrong in certain areas of my children's life. I installed in them, I imparted in them things that were not right. I did certain things. I said certain things. I moved in certain manners that was not right according to how God seemed fit for me to be as a parent for them. I did things that were outside of the box that they shouldn't have seen, they shouldn't have heard, and they shouldn't have been in a part of recognizing that this may not be right or this may not be wrong. But we as an adults do not take accountability for what our children do when they get older, because that is the way that they were imparted. That was what was imparted in them. And whatever is imparted in them will come to light. The Bible clearly states this: whatever is in the dark shall come to light. So we don't understand the light of a thing until they get of an age of showing us what we have installed in them, what we taught them to be. Yes, they do have their own mind. They do know right from wrong in certain aspects. But whatever you installed in them and you see it coming out of them, then you got to figure out, were you right or were you wrong? And then are you holding yourself accountable what you were wrong about? Because some adults do not want to take accountability of what they installed in their children, knowing it was wrong, knowing it shouldn't have been done, knowing it shouldn't even been an aspect in your child's life. You are here to show them life lessons, how you move about in life itself, not imparting in them drama, malice, anger. These things come with certain things that there are bestowed on them or even in them. So the takeaway, the key takeaway from this, the statistics, this is statistics, show that women most often become single moms because of divorce. Point blank and simple. And even if you're not a single mom, there are some two-parent households that a mom is just single in the matter because the father don't know. Or there's a father that's a single man because the mother don't know or don't want to do. Either way you slice or dice it, single mother or single father, divorce or not divorce. If you're doing everybody's job, everybody's due diligence in the household, whether you're performing a male duty or a man duty, and both, then you find yourself in the statistics. Point blank and simple. I find myself in the statistics, y'all. This is where I hold myself accountable and say, I'm a statistic in this. Will you hold yourself accountable and say, these certain things, yes, I do hold myself accountable in the statistics. So statistics show that women most often become single mothers because of divorce, separation, or non-marital births, with divorce being one of the leading causes. Children raised by single mothers' parents face higher average risk in areas such as finances, education, and mental health. Statistics, but these outcomes are not destined. There are pivotal points where your children can wake up and say, yup, my mom told me this, or yup, my dad told me this, but I don't think this is right. Maybe I should get some more understanding. Maybe I should get some more revelation. But did you tell your children, I don't know it all. All I know is what I was brought up on. If you did that, okay. But did you go back and research the information that you need to become a parent or be a parent or understand that area or aspect that they needed? It's your job, if you don't know, to find out. Did you go back and find out what they needed to know? Did you go back and learn what they needed to know? Did you go back to understand what they needed to know? Remember, stop putting everything on your child, because guess what? You are the first partaker of them being who they are because you are the parent. Many thrive when they have a loving parent, y'all. Stability, faith, support family members, and healthy community connections. From a biblical aspect, God repeatedly shows compassion towards single mothers and single fathers. If you got to raise a child, he shows compassion. Widows and children and never teachers that their future is predicted or predetermined by their family situations. Everything is held in accountability. Everything is held to a standard. Everything is held to realization of what they were taught, what happened around them, what made them, what shaped them, what molded them, what they developed on, what they understand it to be. We have to take accountability of what was right and what was wrong. You started it. But God is going to finish that thing. But until next time, this is Divine Due Diligence coming here telling you the statistics. We're just hitting the surface, y'all. The statistics of what men think about single mothers, single fathers, single parents in general. Point blank and simple. It's Divine Due Diligence. Signing off, saying peace, love, and namaste. Don't take parenting lightly, but take it with strive no matter the age.